Hi, welcome to the call. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. This is our special hour. I call it our opulence power hour when we all get together to share and get that knowledge from our SVP. So, it's absolutely amazing. And thank you for your promptness. Thank you for getting on the call. We have Mr. Rennie Lau on the call. It's always good when they keep us on our toes. And I think everybody here knows Rennie, a committed family man, our lifestyle director for, oh my gosh, the President Award winner. How many times, Rennie? Three times
I think
and
twice.
counting.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
twice and counting. A treasured member of our management team. And no other leader than Rennie. Rennie sets the benchmark, a high benchmark, and he shows us how to really be impactful out there. He was at a trade show, a health show this weekend, and I looked at him and I looked at the energy, and so many times a car club winner, and his team is expanding. Listen, Rennie is really and truly our key motivator. One of the, but very much so, he shows us how to do it. So, without further ado, I'm going to put you all on to Rennie. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, yeah, thank you, Cheryl Ann, for that. And again, I appreciate everyone in the house tonight. Again, a very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, so I'll be your, let me turn my camera on first of all. So good evening, everyone. So I'll be your trainer for tonight. And I thought, I don't often get a chance to do these product crossfires. And since I'm here though, I'm going to do the thing that I love to always talk about the most. And because we do have a lot of new people who are, of course, I mean, things have been exploding right now in our company all over the world. And so this evening, I'll be covering a lot more about Fountain of Life and I guess how I like to share Fountain of Life with the people that, of course, I talk to on a daily basis. And so it's not too late to send a quick message. If everyone here can just grab their phones and send a quick reminder to their teams to hop on to tonight's call, please do, especially if you have anybody new who just got started or someone that has any kind of questions. My focus tonight's call will be strictly just sort of Fountain of Life and how it kind of blends into all of our other products as well too. Okay, so again, a very good evening to our Thailand team, of course, and good evening to everyone else who is in the evening time zone right now. I see a lot of people, of course, still joining the call. And so I'm gonna give another 30 seconds before I dive into tonight's training. And I guess in the meantime, of course, is to just quickly give some quick announcements that we have planned the next health seminar. We are looking at the month of May, and May 28th, okay, is the date we're planning the actual health seminar. And of course, it just fully sells out every single time we run those events. So please do make sure that when you see the tickets going live for Thursday, May the 28th, the next health seminar, that you do, of course, go and book that right away as soon as possible. And yes, we're seeing everyone from different countries join the call. You're right, John. I see, of course, Singapore, Thailand, Laos, and the Philippines. Yeah, all one nation for sure. We got Trinidad and Tobago in the house, of course, all over Canada. And definitely, of course, the USA market is really taking off right now. I see Kenya on the call as well, too, and just very late over there, actually. And so, yeah, let's dive right into today's talk. Again, the product crossfire. And so I'm going to share a quick PowerPoint here, but I thought it'd be really fitting to understand the fountain of life, of course, is to talk about the origin of where it actually started from. And not many people might be aware, again, of the exact origins, right, of the fountain of life. And so, of course, that all started with our scientist who's in Finland. And by the way, if you are going to be attending the actual convention coming up that's being planned right now, you'll get a chance to meet this actual person, the actual, I guess, the actual inventor and founder of this product. And so the origins of Fountain of Life started actually in his home, where he had this sort of a Norwegian spruce tree that was blocking the light into the kitchen. And so his wife actually asked him, "Hey, can you please cut down this tree because I want to have more light to come into the kitchen?" And so when he cut the tree down, of course, you cut the branches off first, right? He actually realized that the broken branches on the ground, they never quite died. I mean, if you look at most trees or every other tree, if you were to cut the branch off the tree branch would start to lose their leaves, it would wither, and eventually it would rot. And yet, for this one here, it actually never did. So he just sort of grabbed one, wrapped it up, and basically put it into the freezer, and essentially he forgot about it. And what had happened was, a while later, his wife was cleaning out the freezer and came across this broken tree branch that's wrapped up. And so she brings it back to, of course, the scientist. And you're going to meet Dr. Alnaz, of course, if you're in the next convention here in Toronto later on this year. And when he opened up the actual packaging that he wrapped up this tree branch, the cut part of the branch had actually grown itself back a new layer. And so it's, a self-healing tree. And the best way to describe this product, why it's so powerful, is because, we all eat our vegetables and our fruits, right? And of course, we understand how good that is for us. But an apple or oranges or your fruits or your vegetables, they can eventually go bad. They'll eventually die out, correct? But the tree itself never does. So here we are trying to get some good nutrition stuff from the actual fruits and vegetables, but no one maybe ever really thought about, well, why not look into the actual tree itself? And back in the olden days, of course, a lot of the natives had discovered some powerful benefits of this sap that came from this actual tree for healing and for killing bacteria and germs, but not in a way that it was actually oral consumption. And so that is what led to the discovery of what's called lignans. And of course, well, not the discovery of lignans itself, but the fact that we have found the best source of lignans in nature. And lignans are already in your diet. They, of course, are in all of your fruits and all of your vegetables, right? Because lignans are simply plant antioxidants that help to neutralize free radicals. And they're in all of your fruits, all of your vegetables, your seeds, your nuts, your coffee, tea, wine, beers, your beverages, but in extremely tiny or micro amounts. But of course, our scientist has discovered the world's best source of lignans, and that comes from the Norwegian spruce tree. And beyond that, what's remarkable is that they again have realized that the Norwegian spruce tree is actually a self-healing tree. It can actually heal itself. Now, when you have these lignans, they're so powerful, they help to fight off and neutralize free radicals, which in abundance can cause oxidative stress that leads to so many other diseases, right? And what's even more remarkable is that the lignans that come from a tree versus from your fruits or vegetables, because ours comes from a wood extract, meaning the Norwegian spruce tree, it also has anti-inflammatory benefits. So beyond that, a lot of trees have bugs on them that sometimes like to eat bugs, or some trees can actually die from diseases. But guess what? The Norwegian spruce tree is a disease-free tree. It's also antimicrobial and antibacterial. And after seeing more and more research, we have now found out it's also antiviral, antifungal. There's now studies showing anti-tumor and even anti-cancer properties. Now, of course, disclaimer, Fountain of Life is not a cure or treatment for any disease or ailment, but simply nature's most powerful plant antioxidant. But again, there are now studies out there showing all these amazing different benefits. So it comes down to, well, what happened between 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and present day? Why are we seeing so many more diseases today than we did back then? It all comes down to the fact that back in the olden days, we had more lignans in our foods. But today, due to the way they have GMO and pesticides and insecticides and all these things, the lignans have almost disappeared from our current food source. So we should be getting about 100 milligrams minimum of lignans per day. In the Fountain of Life, that's equivalent to 2 full pumps of Fountain of Life preferably spread out once in the morning and once in the evening. I do it more than that because you cannot overdose, of course, on this product. Even having like 70 something bottles in one sitting, you still have 0% toxicity. So whatever your body does not use, it simply will pee it out or, or the other way out. Okay, but there's no overdosing on this product. But that being said, you want to get at least 2 full pumps of the Fountain of Life. Unfortunately, most people are only getting 1 milligram of lignin right now, only one. And again, being Asian, we typically always like to cook our vegetables, right? We fry it, we boil it, we stir fry it, we might even bake sometimes. But the problem though is once you are going to add heat to your actual vegetables, guess what happens to the lignans? You actually destroy the lignans. So now you lost it all. So you're eating stuff for fiber, but you're not getting the lignans or the antioxidants anymore. And of course, I love showing this chart here that shows, where lignans are in terms of your beverages. So for example, if you had 100 ml of red wine, you have 91 micrograms of lignans. Apricot, a bit more. And kale, you have 2,300 micrograms, not milligrams, micrograms of lignans for the same content. So again, this is equivalent to about 2.3 milligrams. You want to have 100 milligrams of lignans per day. So you can't eat that much kale, right? Let alone all the other stuff here. So the best source before of lignans actually came from the flaxseed. The flaxseed has 300,000 micrograms or 300 milligrams of lignans per 100 grams. But again, the problem with flaxseed is you can't eat too much because you will have diarrhea. And it's really hard to digest. It has to convert, from the flaxseed, which is called the SDG lignin, into estradiol, be cleaved into by your stomach, these sugar molecules, and then into enterlactone. The Fountain of Life is very special. It goes from 7-HMR, 7-hydroxymethylricinolone, so the back of your bottle, directly to enterlactone, which is antioxidant in your bloodstream. Okay, so comparing beyond that, we have 17 times more lignans than the actual flaxseed. Okay, the same content, 17 times more. So again, it's much simpler, much more convenient to just go and put Fountain of Life under your tongue. And I get questions, well, Renee, what if I grind it or I have the flaxseed oil? It's the same problem. It still has to go through that process from SCG to estradiol and to enterlactone. We bypass that step, okay? So of course, you can see here that the flaxseed only has one lignin called the SDG lignin. Again, it requires metabolic conversion, but the better way, of course, is the Fountain of Life, the 7-hydroxymethylricinolone. And did you know, in fact, that Fountain of Life has 7 more powerful lignans than the one in the flaxseed? Okay, and there's a list of the actual lignans themselves. All right, and so of course, moving on here. So, talking about convenience. Would you want to eat 1,800 cups of apples or take 10 drops of the Fountain of Life? Obviously, the 10 drops is much easier. I do love my onions, but I don't want to have to eat 150 cups of onions, right? I'd rather just take 10 drops of the Fountain of Life. Likewise for oatmeal, 77 cups, cabbage, 160 cabbages. Again, some of these things here, if you eat too much of it, you will have eventually a toxicity and acidity, right? So we can't do that. So again, Fountain of Life is so simple. I have one in the car, in my bedside, in my washroom, in my office, in my kitchen, on my kitchen countertop. So it's everywhere, okay? It's like your 911 in a bottle is what we call it, right? So what's even more remarkable is that in Canada, it's so hard to get your NPN number, which stands for the Natural Product Number assigned by Health Canada, whom are one of the most toughest regulators when it comes to natural health products in the world. Many countries don't even actually have this process. For example, in the USA, with the FDA, they'll just say, well, okay, this product looks safe, go ahead and consume it. There's no checking and no detailed inspections, right? And so Health Canada does that. So 99% of most products that you buy in the marketplace only have level 1 NPN. And level 1 means that basically it's like kind of safe to use, but they've done their job checking it out for you. But you cannot make any claims. The beautiful thing, of course, when it comes to level 2 or level 3 NPN is that we have level 3. And level 3 means that you can actually make claims when it comes to this product. So, it's clinically proven to do all of the things that you'll see in the actual brochure. And by the way, this brochure is one of the best tools that I always carry everywhere with me. It talks about, of course, lignans. It talks about, the interlactone I just mentioned, the 10 drops to the fruits. And in the middle of the book, it has all of the different scientific studies and research studies that is behind the fountain of life, from heart health, reducing breast cancer risk, menopause benefits to your DNA protection. And by the way, did you know that most health products don't have the ability to get into the blood-brain barrier? It's sort of protecting your brain for good reasons. But then that means that sometimes the antioxidants can't get up there either. Because Fountain of Life has the ability to get into the blood-brain barrier, it's highly beneficial for brain-related issues, such as, again, on this brochure with the actual studies here for dementia, Alzheimer's, of course, that includes Parkinson's, for autism. And now we're seeing studies for like anxiety, stress, depression, and even like brain fog in the morning. So it's so powerful. Of course, it helps to protect your prostate health and reduces the inflammation and can reduce your prostate size. So if you're peeing a lot at night, again, problem solved here. For me, it can actually improve your hair health. It stops DHT from shrinking your hair follicles. During menopause, it stops the hot flashes and your hair from falling out, right? And of course, it helps with the moods. It is fantastic when it comes to type 2 diabetes, right? And again, it can balance the gut-brain axis. Again, what you eat feeds the brain. You have to have that good relationship as well, too. Another great benefit from the British Journal of Nutrition, the BJN, is, of course, that it helps to lower your body weight, less fatty liver deposits, of course, blood cholesterol dropped, body weight decrease in 30 days, decrease insulin secretion, immune system booster, improve visceral fat metabolism, again, helping with weight loss. Really important one is decreasing chronic inflammation, because inflammation is a vicious cycle that causes more free radicals, that causes more inflammation, and leads to many different diseases in the future. So you want to always make sure you have a daily anti-inflammatory, such as the Fountain of Life, decreasing colon cancer risk, improving sleep quality, can cleanse microbes, and there's so much more, right? Now, by the way, did you know that when I started to study into this product here, I actually came across an incredible document. And I want to share this document with all of you. And in this document, what it basically is here is I went on to all of the places where they actually publish the studies, okay? And I looked up the 7-hydroxymytyrosol lignin, but also lignans in general. And what I came across was absolutely mind-blowing. So what I found out was that on PubMed, okay, or ResearchGate or Science Direct, these are the 3 places where you'll find a lot of studies. I found articles and studies relating to all these different categories. This is not us doing these studies. These are already third-party published studies talking about lignans, and of course, even our lignan in particular. But look at this, ADHD, alopecia. And again, every link, if you were to open it, would reference you to the actual study. Okay, so I made all this available for my entire team and for everyone in the company for that matter, okay? But alopecia, Alzheimer's, ALS, antibacterial, anti-cancer, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-tumor, antiviral, anxiety, stress, mental health, neuroprotective, apoptosis, which is the cell death signaling for those bad cells you want to regenerate to new cells, bioavailability, birth outcomes. Again, we just talked about the blood-brain barrier. Of course, blood pressure, body weight, breast cancer, cancer therapy, candida, cardiomyopathy, heart disease or cardiovascular disease, cataracts, celiac, cholesterol, colon cancer, dementia, diabetes, endometriosis, encephalitis. Again, the interlactone we're talking about, which is the lignans into your bloodstream, epilepsy, fibroids, not sure that's bolded, I'll just fix that, glaucoma, gout, gut-brain axis, gynecological diseases, hair growth, Helicobacter pylori, hormonal balance, hot flashes in menopause, even HIV, Huntington's disease, hypertension, IBD, which is the inflammatory bowel disease or irritable bowel disease, immune system, kidney disease or renal disease, lipophilicity, lung cancer, lupus, metabolism, the statistics, which is stopping the cancer from spreading from one area to the next area, migraines, multiple sclerosis, non-toxic, osteoporosis, Parkinson's, polycystic ovaries, your prostate, sexual function. Again, no toxicity. I'll just put like no toxicity to make it very clear. Uh, tumor necrosis factor, TMF, UTI, the urinary tract infection, vaginal dryness, and vitality. And you know what? There's more and more being published literally all the time, right? So that's what's so incredible about this product is you're not trying to buy 20, 30 different products to have all these benefits. All you need is one bottle that kind of does all of that stuff. Isn't it absolutely crazy, right? And so, again, I'm going to skip over, of course, a bit about the microsilver, but it is a very powerful ingredient that we have in the company. And I just kind of want to end off here showing a lot about the crazy, some examples of some stories that have happened for a lot of people. Myself personally, my hair was thinning out. And today, I mean, I'm just so happy that my hair grew back so thick and strong now. Before I was really losing my hair, I was thinning out in the middle, and now it's all just full, again, because of this product here. And so people, of course, are putting it on the hair for faster hair growth as well, too. You can see that before and after. And again, disclaimer, right? It's not a cure or treatment for any disease or ailment, but simply nature's most powerful plant antioxidant. And again, there's so many studies on lignans already. So it was so good that we actually have our own shampoo, body wash, and conditioner for men and for women as well, too. I highly recommend that. Again, hair growing back faster. And one of the things that we don't even talk about often is that it can actually regulate your immune system. So anything that's like immune system related, for example, alopecia, as you can see on my screen, or lupus, or MS, we're seeing amazing benefits using this product. Again, alopecia, 4 months later. Again, alopecia, right? It's just amazing. And the beautiful thing I mentioned before is that not only should we take this orally every single day, at least 2 full pumps a day, but we want to make sure that we also can use it and understand that we can use it topically all over our body. Nurse Jad will always share with you. You can also put it on your temples for absorption, the inside of your wrist and forearm, your belly button. You can put it between your toes and the web of your toes too. But if you have inflammation or body pain, apply it topically. You have a cut, a paper cut, you have a burn, bee sting, mosquito bite, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea. It can be used anywhere on the body. And again, the scientists initially designed this product to help with of course, what's that word called? Melanoma, which is skin cancer. And it proves so effective for that as well, too. Of course, gout, you mentioned before, to sugar being dropped, arthritis gone, blood pressure normalized. Again, just people that were facing a foot surgery. And because they took Fountain of Life, they were able to avoid the foot surgery as well, too. Right? Again, more diabetes photos here. Callie had found lumps in her breast. Was going to go back, of course, for an actual surgery, and she couldn't find the lumps anymore. So again, you can actually join the Fountain of Life Facebook page where all of these stories are stored in that page. Okay, so I'm just going to sort of go through this, but just to share with you all the incredible stories that we have. What you're seeing here is a very tiny collection of what's actually there on Facebook. Now, there's one other really key important document that I do want to show you guys, which is when it comes to, of course, the possible detox or healing process. So what can happen, of course, is when you take a very powerful plant oxidant like ours, is you might go through what they call a healing process. And at the very bottom of my document here, you can find the fact sheet, more about lignans and the collection of studies on lignans. Actually, there's one that I want to show you guys as well too, okay, since I'm here right now. And again, I make all these documents available, okay? So my whole entire Opulence Global Google Drive is available for all of you to go and actually look at, okay? And so just to share with you over here, it's just loading here, okay? 1 second. is under my fountain of life, scientific research. You can see here, there's another document here called, where is it? Lignan studies. And what this document shows here, again, all third-party research, it's not our company saying this, it's third-party information. I'm just showing you that you find online anywhere. Again, is a whole collection of studies, but all of these studies that you see here are all related to cancer. For example, the first one, in a recent French study conducted over 7 years with 58,049 female participants concluded high dietary intakes of plant lignans were associated with reduced risk of breast cancer in a Western population that does not consume a diet rich in soy. But look at this, right? These are all published studies dating back from 2000, 1999. You know, it's incredible. And we are so blessed that our company has the global exclusive rights globally for whether it's like traditional business or MLM business. Only we have direct access to this product. No one else in the world has this product except for us. And that's what's so look. I mean, this keeps on going. Look at this, right? I mean, for the first time in my life, I'm so blessed to have found a product that not only are there the studies that are there, but we have the stories to back it. We have the stories and we have the studies. Isn't that kind of crazy, guys, right? And so the other thing I want to show you guys, of course, was the possible. Now, this document here, I love to share with people that I'm talking to, and here's why. Sometimes people use this product, and what happens, of course, is that they might experience a detoxing, which is a great sign that the product is working to get the toxins out of your body. But I always make sure my people understand that there are very common detoxing symptoms and what they mean, like acid reflux, heartburn, anal itch, bleeding gums, bloating, menstrual blood clots, bloody stools, bloody urine, right? Body odor, bubble in the stools, bubbles in the urine, bumps or pimples or blisters or burning in the chest, right? Burning sensation in the throat, the chills. And so it shows you what it is, and it also tells you what's actually happening in that area, okay? So there's more circulation in the chest area, so you might have some burning in the chest. And so, I always let my people see this document so that they realize, hey, when I start using this product, if I feel anything that, or I go through any of these different kind of symptoms, that they realize it's all part of the process. It means that the product is actually working to help your body to detox itself and again go through your journey of healing as well too. Right? Isn't that incredible? And so of course, because this is such a powerful product and people are putting it on their actual skin, we do have a anti-aging skincare line that I use every single day, morning and night. I swear by it. We also have an amazing hand and body moisturizing lotion, which my kids used every single day, especially during COVID, because once you put the hand lotion on your hands, that silver, the microsilver technology from Germany, 85 patents, keeps on killing bacteria for up to 8 hours. So that's why, in my PowerPoint here, just going back up here again, we have other incredible products that have this microsilver technology, but here we have it in the actual hand and body moisturizer. It has the fountain of life extract inside of it, as well as a microsilver technology. And of course, the olive oil extract and the shea butter. It smells wonderful, but this protected my family, of course, during the COVID times and even till today, right? It's great for any kind of skin issues. Now, when it comes to toothpaste, by the way, really important is that a lot of people are using fluoride in their toothpaste. And if you actually look at the back of your toothpaste, you'll see a warning that says, if consumed, please contact your nearest poison control center, because fluoride is a poison. And why would we take a chance for our children to swallow that? In fact, University of Toronto and York University have released studies now that children who consume a fluoride toothpaste are linked to lower IQ. And I never want that for my children. So I made sure my kids never, ever, ever had fluoride in their toothpaste. So you want to make sure you get this, right? Does it cost more? Yeah, of course it is, because it's better for you, but it works, right? How important is it for our children's IQ to pay a bit more for good toothpaste, right? That's always been my theory. And so again, we have a cleaning spray that's so powerful. If you have, whenever I travel on airplanes, I go to the plane, I'm always spraying my kids and my wife's are their seats and the eating trays as well too. If you're on a bus, you can spray their hands or use lotion as well too. And of course, we just introduced more recently the mouthwash and the mouth spray. Again, if you have alcohol, like in your Listerine, again, alcohol does have a bad effect. The more that you use it, actually, you're destroying the layer in your mouth. It causes actually more bad breath in the future. So again, why not use a product that is so powerful and so safe for you and your family, right? Um, but some people actually ask me, how did we actually get the fountain of life? Again, I shared the story about the scientists, right? But what actually happened was we actually brought in when we had the fashion line, what had happened was every top fashion company, as I mentioned before, wants to have a skincare line. So when we had fashion, we then had sourced the number one formulator in the world when it came to developing formulations for skincare. And this formulator worked for L'Oreal and Estee Lauder, a billion-dollar company, and we hired the top formulator, and that's him. But he knew that the skin is the largest organ of the body. And he wanted to have, of course, the best antioxidant for your skin because it's also an organ. Thankfully, the formulator knew the scientist in Finland who discovered the Norwegian spruce tree extract. So we actually had the skincare line first before we launched Fountain of Life. And why is that? Well, once we started selling the skincare line, it worked so well. And eventually, the scientists who had the Norwegian spruce tree extract inside our skincare line flew down to Toronto, and our CEO got to meet him. Now, he's quite elderly, but when we met him, he looked so young. And we asked him, well, the CEO asked him, you must be consuming something, orally for your health to stay this young. What are you consuming? And the scientists who discovered Fountain of Life, before it was called the Fountain of Life, replied saying, well, you know what? I actually drink one of the ingredients in your skincare line. And of course, our CEO says, what are you talking about? Well, it's the Norwegian spruce tree extract. And then he started to share all these incredible stories that I won't mention tonight because, it's not a cure for anything, but I think you can get the hint here. But once we heard all these stories, our CEO said, well, we cannot sell this for oral consumption. And the scientist says, well, it's not approved for oral consumption yet. And that's where everything began. Our CEO invested money, of course, with the scientist. And we applied to Health Canada. 2 years later, we finally got the NPN level 1 approval. And that was the birth of the Fountain of Life in February of 2018. So this product, Fountain of Life, is now 8 years old, roughly. And of course, over the time from level 1 NPN, it became level 2. And just a few years ago, we got level 3 NPN number, which means it's clinically proven and we can make claims on this product. And what's really powerful about that is in order to get the level 3 NPN number, it takes years. You have to provide stability tests, toxicity tests, efficacy tests, right? Toxicity, all these tests. And guess what? We actually had inspected the very first batch, like even before we got the actual approval, we inspected the very first batch of this extract, and we're testing for the actual efficacy of the product. And guess what? It was still 99.9% efficacy, even on the bottles from way back then. So people often ask me, well, Renee, what is the preservative? And the answer is we don't need one. Fountain of Life is a natural antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal, right, properties. So it's self-preserving, like the tree itself. And that's what makes this product so powerful, you know? And so, of course, people often ask me, well, Renee, what is the other ingredient? Because on the back of the bottle, you have the 7-hydroxymethylricinol, which is the Picea abies extract, which is a science name for Norwegian spruce tree. That's the first ingredient. And the second one, of course, is we have to deliver the lignin somehow to your body. We could have made a capsule or a pill, but that's not really effective, right? So the best way was our other technology that we use, which is called the trimethylene glycol, also known as 1,3-propanediol. Again, it's from corn. It's again fully, registered with Health Canada, but that's the liquid portion. So the liquid portion is the trimethylene glycol, and inside that we have put, of course, a fountain of life. Okay. So, I just wanted to, again, really just go over, again, what is the Fountain of Life, where it came from, the story, the origins of it. And it is just changing lives globally. For myself personally, again, you heard me, my hair grew back. Also, I had shoulder pain from a snowboarding injury where I fell on my hand on ice and it kind of shook my shoulder. And I had pain for so long that I couldn't even like raise my left shoulder. Just a few weeks using Fountain of Life, that my shoulder pain went away. I had full mobility again. And before, because I was living in Asia when my son was born there, my second son, I was doing business in Taiwan. But the lifestyle there, you're always eating, drinking late at night, eating fried food, going karaoke, eating deep fried food, right? Oily food. So I was pre-diabetic. I had high uric acid. I had a fatty liver. I had high cholesterol, and I had inflammation in my body. And after taking Fountain of Life, I went for another checkup about 6 months later. So a 6 month window, everything that I had normalized. No more pre-diabetic, no more high cholesterol, no more high uric acid or gout, no more fatty liver, and no more inflammation. And my whole entire family is on it. My wife is on it, my two boys, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my mom, my dad. My dad has an amazing journey with my mom, with this product. My dad was even more healthier than I was. And again, this product has just changed your life so much. So, I always believe that if you're on this call because somebody was caring enough to talk to you about this product, and now you're experiencing the benefits of this product, I believe that you and I owe it to give it back to the world and share with more people. Okay. So again, by the way, yes, thank you for the reminder, Mavis, that Fountain of Life is also excellent when it comes to pets, cats, dogs, horses, right? Because they're mammals, and mammals need lignans, of course, in their diet. Another common question I get, well, is, well, Renee, can pregnant women, breastfeeding women, or children use this product? It's getting a bit dark in here. I'm gonna turn on the light to my office one quick second. There we go. So I don't have to like squint, or you can see me a lot better here. Okay, you can see the true complexion of my skin now. I'm just kidding, but and so you understand, right? In Canada, when it comes to any health product on the shelf, the general rule is you must say, not for breastfeeding women, not for pregnant women, and not for children or so under 12, like 12 and under, because 13 you're a teenager, but 12 and under. But again, if you look on the Fountain of Life official page on Facebook, you will see that there are people who, in their own decision, decide to take it and actually help them with their pregnancy, during the pregnancy. It helped them, of course, when they're breastfeeding, and they have very smart children now, and of course, my son, by the way, again, because I'm a father here, he was suffering from very bad eczema, really bad eczema, where he had bloody elbows, cuts on the ears, always scratching his belly for the blood, and behind the knees, just destroyed. And so what they did was he just started using, well, funny thing is my wife usually is not the one that wakes up and does the breakfast and do the drop-offs. I still do that. I'm proud about that. It's been, they're 15, almost 17. I do the wake up, I do the breakfast, I do the drop-offs. But because of that, I asked my son to take 8 drops per day. And you'll see here that it was like every 10 kilograms of weight, you can use drops when it comes to like, pets. And that's what I use for the calculation for my son. So he took 8 drops. He was 40 kilograms. He took 8 drops per day, just once in the morning. That was it. It was a bit bitter at first, but they got so used to it really quickly. And after 3 weeks went by, I noticed that he wasn't scratching where he normally scratches. And I says, well, Rex, can you just pull up your shirt and show me your arms? And to my incredible, amazing, disbelief, I couldn't believe it, but his whole eczema had disappeared, all of it. And so, so that's why for me, I love sharing this product with the world. And as a parent, I decided to let my son take it because guess what? Our children already eat lignans every day. It's in your fruits, it's in your vegetables, it's in your seeds, it's in your juices, right? It's already there. But again, just in micro, tiny amounts. And of course, for me, I want to have it for sure in for my whole entire family. Okay. So I want to say thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed my presentation when it came to the Fountain of Life and how it links to our other incredible products as well too. We do have another amazing product called Divine, which is 6 of the most sort of sought after ingredients before, of course, Fountain of Life. That, of course, is the pine bark extract. So we have both trees. We have the Nuja spruce tree and we have the pine bark extract. We have glutathione. We have the grapeseed extract, vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc in our NPN3, of course, Divine. And also our collagen is our most recent Arctic Vita collagen, the most newest line to our trio of health. So you have 3 items: Fountain of Life, Divine, and the Arctic Vita collagen, the trio of life. And the Arctic Vita is a marine wild caught collagen peptide. But we also added vitamin A, vitamin C, and zinc, inulin, which is a prebiotic fiber to assist in better absorption of your actual collagen. And we use what's called peptin, which is the highest grade of collagen you can buy in the world, from the open waters. And again, that's what the Olympic athletes trust and use as well too. And we also have a level 3 NPN on our collagen, which means that yes, it might cost more than your regular Costco collagen, but this actually works. It's clinically proven to do against all the benefits that we talk about, of course, on our website. Okay. So I guess what we can do now is just leave some time for some questions and answers, or someone wants to come on the line here and share some testimonials. My part is done. Thank you so much again for tuning in. And of course, as always, we're one team, one dream, one system, building the billion. And of course, back to our amazing host, Cheryl Ann, for being our great host for tonight. I know we have some announcements, and I'm going to turn the call back to you. Thank you, Cheryl Ann.
Let us all join together and show appreciation for Rennie, for the amount of information that he has shared with us. Look at his poise, look at his confidence, look at how, he lives, he breathes the product. He lives in his products. Come on,
I'm just
let's
passionate.
give
Thank you.
let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you,
Rennie, we
guys.
appreciate you. We appreciate the knowledge. We appreciate your leadership. We appreciate your leadership. You show us how you do it. And he has taken the time to put together this information for us. I'm sure you're anxious like me. You can't wait for the playback where you can actually snap and take your pictures and have them on your phone and move with them. Listen, this is awesome. Rennie, thank you. Thank
Bye.
you for the information shared.